I wonder what it is that our highly sensitive children really need. And I wanted to start by telling you a bit about my story. So we have a highly sensitive son who is 9, and when he was 5 or 6, I started to notice that he didn't appear as resilient or substantial as some of his friends. And I knew he was small in stature, so I realised that made a difference. But it was more than that. I just could see, that he wasn't as grounded and he wasn't as present with himself as some of the other children around him. And I was surprised to see this because, we'd raised him to be trusting and, we'd done our best to raise him to feel secure and to be himself. And so I just thought, I wonder why. So we continued with life as normal. Luca went to school and he went to children's parties and we went out as a family, and I did all the things that I just thought a family should do. But when he was 7, he started to suffer with fatigue. And he was just so tired all the time that it was hard to do anything fun, anything that he really wanted to do. By the time he'd done a week of school, Saturday he was exhausted, Sunday we did something a bit fun, and then back to school on Monday. So something was tiring him out, and we didn't really know what. But then I guessed that it was something to do with him being highly sensitive. I guess this because I'm highly sensitive and I know how environments can affect us. So we took Luca out of school, and the next 2.5 years were a real journey to try to rebuild him. Now, I'm not being an advocate for home education or I'm not saying that school is terrible. I'm just simply telling a story about a highly sensitive child who went to school and it didn't feel right, and so we brought him home. But the journey really started then, because I thought, well, now he's home and we don't have the buzz of the classroom around us, then of course it's just as simple as planning a few things to do and doing them. How wrong was I? So clearly that wasn't going to happen. Every morning I would have a little bit of time to myself. Luca would watch a little bit of television, then he'd come to me and we'd try and decide what we were going to do for the day. And he would just cover his ears. He would cover his ears and just collapse in a heap. And it didn't seem to matter what I said, whether I just said, would you like to do this, or we could do this, or why don't we do this? It didn't matter what it was. He just didn't want to hear it. And well, this was very challenging. So there was certainly no way I was going to start actually teaching him anything, because I couldn't even get beyond that point. So I thought, well, I'm not going to be doing any didactic teaching. So I thought, well, maybe he wants to go and find things out for himself. So I'll say, well, remember we went out yesterday and we saw those birds, those goldfinches? Well, maybe today you'd want to look up something about them. Why? Would be the response. Why would I do that? And I think, well, why? well, I just thought it was something nice to do, you know. But I liked the birds. I liked the birds, and I liked being with them. And so gradually I start to think, well, yes, I see. He's got a point, hasn't he? Why would we have to look up about the birds? So that clearly didn't work. So then I thought, well, maybe I just need to create an experience. So I put paints on the table and get it all ready, and then I say, would you like to come and paint with me? But a similar response, really. You know, even though I felt like I had some way of inspiring him, and I'd say, well, remember those wildflowers we picked yesterday? Would you like to come and paint one, a big picture of one, you know? And it was the same sort of response. Why would I do that? The same with why would I come and dance? I don't like that rhythm anyway. I don't like that music. So I'd say, well, why don't you come and dance to the music that you want to dance to? No, I'm not really in the mood for dancing today. So this kind of went on every day, and I was just thinking, what on earth am I going to do with my son for all the hours of the day? So it was very, very frustrating. But there was a day when he burst into my room in the morning. Well, my room is just my room where I sit and think and do, and kind of an officey kind of space. Okay, so he burst in and he said, I'm going to do an animation today. I'm going to do an animation, and it's going to be about my toys. It's going to be called Hattie and the Great Fire Rescue. Hattie is his toy rat. So he got his camera and his tripod and his cuddly toys, and off he went to make his animation. And once he's got his vision, he is away. You just can't see him for dust. He's just like a whirl in the house, and loads of ideas, and it's just amazing to see. And I saw this when he was younger as well. When he was 5 or 6, he made a Lego hotel, and he sat doing Lego for 6 hours in that day. And I couldn't stop him. I tried to say, look, maybe we should do something different now, have a rest. No, wouldn't stop. And I also remember him getting up one day and wanting to make a remote control robot. And it was really a sort of puppet robot. He made it with cardboard boxes and string. And again, he just had this vision, and he just knew exactly what he wanted to do. He could see it in his head, and he wasn't going to be happy until he had fully executed his vision. And so when I see this, that makes me realise that, yes, it's all about having the vision. So when our children are like this, they show their autonomous side, should we just let them go and do their own thing? And yeah, I don't feel that's right. I feel that is we're abdicating our responsibility when we do that. So I've had to think about what is our role as a parent. Now, I think that we can lead our children in some way to expand more, because they don't really know what's out there. So if we just let them loose to make their own discoveries, I don't feel that's really right. So how do we lead them into something greater? Well, I think first of all it's important that we are passionate about life. And it is the things that we're passionate about that we can lead our children into better than the things we aren't. So I'm not really passionate about maths. I'm not very passionate about science. So, and my son picks it up, and he tells me I can't teach maths because I'm not passionate enough. Thankfully, my husband is a maths and science teacher, which is really convenient for me. But if he wasn't, then I would get some outside help rather than struggle on with me not having a passion. So I'm passionate about the arts. I'm passionate about story and writing, music, movement, using our voices, and art, and a bit of acting perhaps. So those are the things that I'm passionate about, and the things where I think I can help to lead Luca. So how do we feed the visionary is the question. How did Luca come to think about doing an animation? I suppose because he'd seen us make lots of videos, and we've made lots of videos of him talking over the years. Not just, actually talking about something that he's passionate about. He's had a camera, so he's been taking photographs. He's been doing some art, so he's got a sense of creating a set to go with an animation. He's been doing some music, basically creating his own music on a keyboard, because he's so sound sensitive. There's lots of sounds he doesn't like, so we've had to find some sounds that he does like and help him to create his own music. So he's been doing that, and so now he's come to this point of feeling this passionate about animation. He's already been fed these things, and I think really that's what we need to keep doing with our children, is keep giving them this experience of using their voice, creating image, dance, all the things that I've spoken about, so that they can then express themselves. So really what children need is space. That's the biggest thing they need. Space to feel their own passion and what's inside of themselves. We can feed that by giving them experiences, but ultimately they need space. And it's okay to have space. It's okay to have a bit of an emptiness, and it's okay to be a little bit bored, because that's where children get in touch with what's inside of themselves. They have to dig deep. If they haven't got things on the surface all the time, or things that everybody's doing for them or taking them to or preparing for them, it's about them digging deep and finding out who they are, and then expressing that in the way that is right for them. And I think that is the key when it comes to how to grow a visionary. Okay, thanks for watching.